What's up everyone, how's it going? Just doing a bit of a casual stream slash cast tonight for Super Series Tournament, Div 2, Group A. We do have TUD Apes Diff versus Foxys Sluts. Now both these teams have 2 losses, no wins so far in their group. So getting this win on the board is quite crucial for them to be able to contest for that 3rd spot, which I believe you need to be top 3 to get out of the group stage. So getting a win over the other team here to clean 2-0 would be quite ideal. We'll see what ends up happening as a few bans come through. Looks like mostly targeted comfort picks to me. Cheese McPuff, I believe, is stepping in for the Foxy team here. I haven't seen him play in either of their previous series. And obviously he's known for his Ramus, so that was very much a targeted ban versus him. And then obviously the RE targeted away against Nuria Fox, who does appear to be playing in the bot lane. Unless these guys are not in pick order, in which case that would be very cringe. I hope that's not the case. We see traded junglers here to Volibear on blue side. First priority answered by the Morgana, which could be a flex. Interestingly enough, the jungler who was playing for Fox's team in their games is actually now playing support. So that's a bit of a weird one. And the Azir up too. Okay. So mostly looks like there's a few comfort picks. Not expecting too much though. Diego was however, but I believe it's still banned technically, so it will be a Ziggs lock-in instead, which again, comfort pick, control mage. I think it's a decent answer into Azir as well, for at least in terms of lane phase, because obviously you have more range poke, you've got ways to disengage from his shuffle with the satchel charge, so not a bad pickup at all. And then Fresh, pretty strong support, still highly valued by a lot of pro teams as well as solo queue, so it's very good. And then Edriel locked in, which is interesting because he's definitely one of the weaker AD carries, but he does have an interesting build path in terms of like you don't have to rush the mythic item, you can go for that mana moon first, if I remember correctly. Imagine this is probably, I'd imagine, because I don't believe Nuria Fox plays a lot of ADC, so I would say this is probably one of his probably more comfortable ADCs, and that's why he's gone for this. Let's see, a couple more picks taken away, more ADCs being taken off the board. There's a Caitlyn ban against Wibbly Watt, and as well as the MF. And we're top lane tank taking that board, so let's see where teams go from here. The red side, you're locked in support here probably, and then keeping you're keeping your support that's could technically flex to Morgana to support. But I don't really know which one to counter pick in the jungle per se. You already see the jungle and the support, so I don't really get the point unless you just have you want to take away the Orion's higher priority away from the enemy team, but you're getting counterpicked here by Aurelia, which could be pretty rough. I don't think I've watched any games of TUD Apes Diff, so I'm not sure. I don't know if White Fox here could pilot Aurelia proficiently enough to punish something like an Orion in lane and kind of get that snowball going, but having a Volibear in your jungle paired up with it does make your gank setup really, really strong. and you definitely could set up some plays. And that is Lee Sin locked in, which is, I mean, you know, he has been a solo laner as of late, but it's probably still a flex. And someone did leave game, so they did not tell me what the placeholder was. We'll see what was. Okay, so the draft is completely different then. So 6 of Yone. Okay, right. So it's Yone into Azir and Fiora into Ornn. So point still stands for the top lane. Fiora is probably a little harder to pull off in terms of like punishing the Ornn with the Volibear. Like you don't have like setup CC unless you get like a parry off, right? So you parry the Ornn CC or whatever, which could happen obviously, but you kind of have to bait the Ornn into doing it, and then the volley kind of comes in and does the chain CC and you run them down. But I think Reddy just does it just better, but obviously it's probably Fiora is probably the more comfortable pick for this player. Then Yone into Azir mid. We'll see, now that I have that entire comp in mind, that's a lot of AD. Like you're getting some magic from your Volibear, but it's not an awful lot. So the Ornn is very, very free to just stack armor for free. What the fuck's a Maokai? Okay, I guess that was another placeholder that no one told me about. Lovely. Off to a great start here. Well, this champ select is as much a mystery to me as is you guys, so. Is that Maokai jungle? Not sure about that one. Oh, then again, I forgot we are on the patch with all the jungle changes, right? So I actually have no experience of the game with the smite changes and whatever was done to the camps. So maybe Maokai is juiced for jungle. But I mean, Dukazen, who was playing in jungle for this team, does have the Morgana, so maybe he's actually still going to jungle. Yeah, I know it got like easier in quotations, but like I don't know if that affected any champions, like if they're more viable in the jungle now. Like I still wouldn't believe that Maokai is like a viable pick, right? Like I feel like his tier speed is still like, I mean, ridiculously slow. Yeah, I it is just Maokai support. He's going to be doing like cheese comet builds, just throwing bush saplings for lightning phase poke with Ezreal. Morgana jungle, that's probably what it likely is. Or Morgana mid, Lee Sin jungle. Who knows? Oh, there was Varus there too. Okay, so they just actually just placeholdered pretty much 3/4 of their compositions. And then didn't mess with me about any of them. Nice. Well, not really much else to say here. like, again, it's a lot of AD for blue side here, but Varus does help that to a certain degree, unless it's lethality Varus. So then again, maybe not. Because if that is the case, then Maokai or Orin are not going to die very quickly.
What?
Thank you for the follow, Aeronautist. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of free to just stack the armor without really being punished. I'm interested to see how the solo lane, Lee Sin, if that is solo lane, probably, right, is going to play into the Yone. That's a very interesting matchup. Much more interesting than Ziggs' ear, which is going to be just, constantly shoving waves into each other and trying to get the poke off. We might actually see a bit of dueling. Be interesting. But we'll go on to a brief break while we wait for Spectator Day to catch up. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Alright, welcome back, guys. As it does turn out, it is a Maokai jungle, after all. Which is interesting, to say the least. I'm curious to see how well it actually clears, and how fast it can move around the map. And it is Morgana support with Dark Harvest, so tension's pretty clear. They're just going to throw down Dark Soil, Ezreal Qs, and they're going to try just bully this Varus and take all his lunch money. And we'll see if that happens. Varus is obviously pretty strong himself. It's probably why he's one of the most premier ADCs right now, just because of his potential to bully in lane. But that is a lot of damage he's going to have to be facing in these trades. And having a support like Thresh doesn't help in that scenario. And this is the matchup I'm really interested in to kind of track as throughout the match. Candies versus Crimson. Yone versus Lee Sin. And then, you know, it's your end Ornn. Like, you know, whatever. You know, like, you know, Fiora should counter Ornn. But we've seen how many Ornns just randomly get off massive amounts of damage and just bully people anyway. So, let's see if Fox can actually pull it off. Binding does land, hook goes wide, does a lot of damage onto Opa. So rough trade to take this early on the lane. Zero 2 is a bit far up, don't I? Want to be careful here. Oh, baits out the parry, but doesn't. Go for the clap. Not expecting too much to be happening here at the moment. I'm curious about this Maokai. He is coming down here in the bot lane to spot out by the ward. Binding does land. That is a dead Thresh. Or sorry, Ezreal I should say. No, sorry. Yeah, Thresh. One second. Ezreal got the first blood. Not with it today, boys. That is a very early Bramble Vest. So clearly knows what he needs to do this game. Just stack all the armor and health in the world, and then he's basically unmovable. He is getting ganked though. That is a flash stun by the Volibear, but I don't think they'll have the damage to run him down, even with rev off slows. And yeah, trade of flashes, which is good pressure, obviously, because now Volibear can revisit that lane. But again, that is the struggle with this Fiora, like I mentioned earlier. Like, you don't have setup CC unless you parry the Ornn, right? So that's why the Volibear had to use flash the first place to even get that much. Ooh, hook does land onto the Ezreal, but Opaz is getting kited out here with the black shield. Knight used as well by Dukazen. So trade of flash for ignite. So that's pretty good for the side of Foxys Sluts in this bot lane. Early kill and trade, positive trade summoners. Oh, Nightmare is not going to be long for this world. That's a lot of damage. Holy moly, was that just all Lee Sin, or was Maokai doing that much damage too? Not enough running lands. Not enough follow-up damage though, you can guess. Lantern out to safety. Didn't have much mana for trading though. Ooh, Candies. Almost got the one. The solo bolo in the turret. He's looking for it with the Maokai wraparound. Jeez, got a flash. Yeah, nice. Okay. Really nice pressure coming out from Foxys Plus in this early game. So if you're the side of TUD, you're probably looking at this top lane and saying like, okay, we really need to snowball the Fiora, so you're probably going to see the Volibear. Well, I think he should be visiting top lane, that flash blown, and just try to run him down. Make your Fiora so strong that she's basically no one can place her in the side lane. Because this mid lane's already looking pretty doomed. Not gonna lie. Oh, no, never mind. Candies is actually going just too far. Oh, gets the 1-for-1 though. Sure, in the jungle gank. Oh, big hook. I think that's gonna be enough. Oh wait, there's no mana on the Varus though. So it's actually forced to flash out instead. Did get the heal from the Ezreal, but still has the flash available himself. Nice poke, but again, there's no mana to like pry pull from that. Your Fox should have enough health mana just to shove in this wave and back off. So 4 kills won, just over a 1.4k gold lead for the side of Foxes. Most of that gold being on this Lee Sin and Maokai. Yeah, so far the Maokai hasn't actually been falling behind in levels. Again, I'm not 100% familiar with how the jungle changes affected, like... I know, like, catch-up XP is more of a thing again. So maybe that explains why he's able to keep them levels so much. But he's actually clearing pretty fast. Fiora has gone for the all-in on top lane. Meanwhile, Skirmish in mid lane too. Oh, nice Fate Sealed. Into mid lane, but doesn't have really... Oh, okay, he just gets kicked back into the Spirit Realm. And a solo kill up in top lane. So, afraid of solo kills in these solo lanes. So, take a quick look at the gold here. So, the Lee Sin's already got 1400 lead over Yone. You know, Fiora's other stuff about an 800 gold lead. You know, again, bit of CS gap. Obviously the kill. But, like, it's not, you know, a huge difference just yet, especially if, you know, a tank doesn't care too much about going down in gold this much. But if this kind of continues in this pattern, it's going to get really rough. However, Foxys should still feel pretty okay, because I think Lee Sin could probably do pretty well into the Fiora later on if he gets sufficiently fed, right? Like, he's actually pretty strong side laner, and he could match the Fiora, as long as she doesn't get, like, ungodly fed, which he hasn't managed to do just yet. Nice reaction ulti from the Varus, but it's going to be too late. It's going to get chain CC to his doom. Mary Fox will snipe that kill with a flashy ult at the end. And like a flash really hurting him there, so... Oh, Cammy's. He's just going for some cheeky trades under the turret. Do see 02 is kind of roamed down from top here. I think with the waves frozen outside of White Fox's turret, he's a bit afraid to walk up that far maybe. Although he should know that Nightmare is in the bot lane. No. I guess he could be just afraid of getting run down solo by the Fiora at this point, so... Meanwhile, Foxys are going to get themselves the first dragon of the game. No, bit of a cloud to get them going. So maintaining about a 2k gold lead here. Oh, 02 might have stepped up a bit too far. Ulti has been used by the Fiora. She's looking for all the vitals, but got slowed down just too much. Just can't get the last two to get that kill. Flash for Flash as well. But TP available to Bjorn, so he's gonna actually find out this. No. Grim does get the ulti back onto the Lee Sin, but he's gonna just back off. You are looking for a kill here onto the Volibear. TP's coming in from the Ornders, looking for the collapse here. There's no support from this Yone whatsoever. Nightmare is going to have to flash out and just walk away. But they should be able to pull him out of his jungle. Is there any camps here for them to take? Not really. Gromp's respawning, wolves are up, but that's about it. So, will they translate this into something like a Herald? They definitely could. They have numbers advantage across the board. Oh. Nice Varus ulti into Trash Hook. That's nice to change CC. Morgana has tanked the turret, but... Oh, okay, there we go. Ignite comes through for the trash kill. Varus managing to get sniped there onto Real Fox as well. Meanwhile, a lot of skirmishing around here in the mid lane. Back and forth. Candy's going to take up Terror Shot. Is not going to go down though. Lee Sin and Volley, very low health, both get away with their lives after a big exchange across the walls. Teleport burned by Candy, so they could wave a minute. Has been keeping a pretty decent advantage here, CS wise and kill wise. Kept up the pressure here on Crimson. No turret plates just yet, but he should manage to get himself at least. No, never mind. TP back from the Yone, so I won't be able to get that at all. Oh, Duke Kazan's been landing a lot of good findings in this lane. Haven't seen him miss all that many. It's kind of permanently kept these guys underneath the turret. Oh, you can see the damage. So much poke. Heal having to be used, but Real Fox does get hooked. It's going to take a couple tower shots for trouble there. So the gold team's actually shrunk by quite a bit. Interestingly enough, it was nearly 2k for Foxys, now it's back to already like 700 gold. It also does land around the Varus, but doesn't end up meaning anything. James Corruption's kind of being a bit misused there. Candies is looking for execution under turret, but no way to work with. They're just going to back off this play, it seems like. Opens back delayed. It's gonna be pretty rough for him. Managing to deny away from the Varus as well. It's gonna be very nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like there was like a lot of action like about a minute ago, and now it's really just slowed down quite a bit. Then they are looking for plays though. It's just that nothing's really materialized too much. Those like Foxys are, yeah, those are just gonna get the second dragon for free. The Volibear is gonna start on this Herald as 0-2 is getting chased down once again by the Fiora. It has to flash out to avoid getting. Oh, that last vital did land, but it was not enough to take him down, and so he gets away barely with his life. But importantly enough, survived, bought his team a bit of time to grab themselves second dragon of the game, which means we've gotten ourselves Infernal Soul map. Okay, that's an interesting one. Could be quite valuable for this Edriel, for all the poke that he has, and obviously Lee loves that. because he kind of does absurd amount of damage. Especially with the build that he's going. He's gone for the Eclipse. So, a very strong assassin-like play. Once again though, Malcolm bot lane. Ooh, is going to follow the lantern underneath third. Has he gone a bit too far? He's not quite all that tanky just yet. He is going to go down for his troubles. Candies though does get the kill in return. Did use the ulti, so is looking mostly just to kind of peel off here. Even though I don't think the Volibear really has kill threat, so they're going to try to turn this around. The help in Maria Fox has arrived. Meanwhile, top lane looks like the Ornn is once again trying to run for his life. Oh, nice dodge of the ulti by White Fox. And finally gets his second solo kill of the game after a few different attempts. Meanwhile, Crims is getting bullied here once again by Candies. Is healing up quite a bit, but it's not going to be quite enough. And he is going to go down for his 4th death of the game. Having a bit of a rough one. Unfortunately, the Lee Sin just a bit too strong. Meanwhile, both teams trying to desperately race to get the first turret here on both sides of the map. But it looks like it is going to probably be neither of them, actually, because the waves do manage to arrive in time. Meanwhile, the Herald was just used by Nightmare. It must have been a mistake because he had plenty of time to use it. So, not sure why he would pop it there. Meanwhile, Candy's visiting top lane, gets himself a big old shutdown. And he is massive in this game. Oh, first ulti land with again Black Shield to kind of stop any follow-up CC. I'm gonna get some of the damage, but that Herald Charge will go off, won't get the turret. I'm just curious about this gold lead as Volibear is once again bullied out of his own jungle. And just chained CC to his doom is what it looks like. Crims has arrived, but honestly, you 1v2 after your Volibear was very dead. I'm not really sure this is the play you wanted to go for. Spear form right in the middle to them is just going to go down for his trouble. Lee Sin, unreal fed at this point. 3k gold over his solo lane opponent. Definitely most gold in this game by far. Is going to be happy with how things are going. That being said, it's still barely a 2k gold lead here for Foxys. So it's not like they've got like the biggest lead in the world. Most of that gold situation purely on their mid laner. And White Fox is pretty strong himself, but he's not getting any support really from his jungle, and he's kind of getting. They're trying to like stifle him as much as possible on the side of Foxys. So realistically, he needs Nightmares is up here now to help him out a bit to sway the gank, so that's nice to see. But Nightmare, you don't really need to stay around here now. Try to get back to your jungle and farm something. Choose my puff. He knows this is going to invade here, but he's going to get caught for his troubles. Oh, TP coming back in though from Candies. He never really left top lane in the first place. Oh, there's a big old brawl around Diff blue buff. Crims gets forced back in the spear form. Also coming out from the Volibear, but there's no damage. Okay, so yeah, what do we want? Force the flash, multi to safety, and heal. That's a lot of resources burned. Just that one small trade. Oh, that's, yeah, I mean, that's Dark Harvest, Pool plus Ezreal ulti, like, again, I was saying earlier, Varus is good at trading lane, but against this duo, it's quite difficult. And yeah, it's been kind of being bullied all game. Does mean third dragon in the game is almost certainly going over to Foxys Sluts. We'll put them on soul point for the Infernal Soul. And the game is pretty much heading towards its inevitable conclusion at this point. Like, I don't really see a way for TUD Apes Diff to come back in this one unless there's like a big pop off from this Fiora. So she hasn't really gotten ahead enough in the top lane to kind of like be enough of an impact on this map, right? Because, you know, she's strong, but this Lee Sin is way stronger. So he can just easily go and match her and probably just kill her 1v1 without really much hassle. And the rest of her team is just so weak in comparison to everyone else. Like, the Varus will do like some decent poke damage once he hits his second item here, but he's still a ways off of stacking that Merman at full. Meanwhile, Opus is going to get run down here by the Lee Sin. Even with the help of his AD carry, I don't really think there's much they can do here. They're both just going to die. Lee Sin kicks him away from the Lantern. Yeah, I mean, he just does absurd damage. So, Opus does get away with his life, but at the cost of his AD carries. And has not recalled base just yet. I guess he's afraid of being chased. There we go. Yeah, I mean, not much to say there. Flash Force from Fiora would make any potential of her being able to do something in this fight that should be happening for Baron. But they're not even going to fight for it, they're just going to let it happen because they're just too far behind, so they've not realistic way of winning the fight. Fiora is coming in now, but she does not have the backup of her team, so there's just nothing she can do. Those team are starting to move in now, but it might be just too late. Maokai ult used to zone. Lee Sin's going in for massive damage here on Fiora. He's just going to solo kill her 1v3 basically in the face of the bot lane. And he's going to continue his rampage, going straight onto Yone. Meanwhile, Nightmare's getting run down with the rest of the team. Yeah, Candice can just do whatever you want here. There's literally just nothing they can do unless they chain CC him. And even then, I don't think they have the damage to through him quickly enough. Oh, nice. Q landed, is diving quite deep. Does not manage to land the rest of his abilities though. Does get out to safety. So Baron taken, pressure applied in mid and top. We're going to probably see I don't think you'll see the base bonus just yet, although these guys are really low. They should have backed off already. Let this mid tier turret go down and just try to defend your base, but now they're just going to give over the lives and they're probably going to lose their mid and hip as well for this. Yep. Trap goes down. Then it goes down. No one's here to really wave clear, so just lose in here for free. Meanwhile, Orin recall went to bot side, so he's pushing in this bot wave, so they could rotate to that. But they'll probably just reset to spend gold because they have an absurd amount in their pockets. Area Fox trolling his support a little bit, but you know, happens. Okay, so they're going to help him take this bot here, and then they're probably going to back off. There's a potential for collapse. You have Fiora coming down with Varus, who did get a decent poke off, but again, with Black Shield, bindings, just all the damage, just not way they can really approach these guys, even though they're like two of them are half HP. Well, they're just taking all the tier 2s. more or less for free. Securing their lead. It will help them transition into the Dragon Soul to, you know, more or less get the game even more absurdly in their favor. Oh, nice. Shame CC, but again, the damage is just not there. Maokai is going to go down. They are going to pay for their sins here. Oh, never mind. He flashes out. Meanwhile, Candice goes back in, gets 2 kills in return. He is massive on this Lee Sin. And I think he's going to live here. Nope, never mind. Alright. And then Cheese McCuff dies in, you know, consolidation with his mid lane. Meanwhile, Infernal Soul picked up, so Orin's feeling like he can take on the world now. He's trying to snipe at the Fiora. Goes well wide though. Trying to get some revenge here against the person that bullied him all game in the top lane. You know what? Wasn't even that. Honestly, wasn't even really that bad. Like, yeah, he's down like 60 CS, but like, it's kind of to be expected, right, in this matchup. Only 2 solo kills. So yeah, without really knowing the proper champion pools of TUD Apes, it's kind of hard to say what I would have done different with this draft. If this is the kind of style that you're locked into, I definitely think you need to spend more time as Nightmare in your top lane, like, because White Fox has shown that he can get the solo kills onto the Zord, like, he can punish the tank picks, but you need to give him support to, like, counter the ganks that are coming from Cheese and Puff in the first place, right? So, you know, your Fiora doesn't get shut down, and then, you know, Snowball or more ahead, and then maybe you have a chance, right? Or you need to commit to other lanes harder, but you kind of just didn't do enough early on with this volley pick, and everyone in the boss side just fell behind too hard. Now, if White Fox can play Aurelia, I'd love to see that. Oh, nice kick there on Fiona. He's going to get kicked to his doom. Candy's going to tank up so much damage with the start stage. He is going to go down though. Gets shut down by White Fox. Managed to get the ulti off. He's trying to cut down the Ornn. And they are going to punish Foxy's little sluts for overstaying for this inhibitor. But I mean, again, it's not really going to mean all too much. It's more gold in their pockets, which is nice. But, you know, the lead that, you know, Red Team have is still really absurd. They've almost lost their top lane inhibitor tower. And they're going to have Super Waves pushing into mid bot with Baron coming up in about 30 seconds. So, realistically speaking, they're still really out of it. Unless they kind of find more miracle fights like that. And, you know, Fox is basically trolling. Could happen. It is Div 2. Have seen Stranger Things. Right, so Yone is pushing bot lane, has TP available. Cheese McPuff is going to get caught out here in mid though, but just the threat of everyone else clashing is going to make them run away. Plus, Maokai, no Maokai to zone them off from the Baron, but realistically, is it going to be even necessary? They should just have the damage to just murder them the moment they walk into them. Or an ulti is available. Yeah, I mean, they're just converting for this. Like, again, there's just no contest really coming out from TUD Apes until it's basically too late. Bit of damage, but not huge. Candy's looking for the pick though. That is a dead trash. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Ignite, not even ignite, just the Andrews take from Morgana. Dark Soil, Tormented Soil, I should say. Gets him down. Yeah, there's going to. Candy's going to catch the wave back in mid to push it up. Real Fox and Hazen though pushed up pretty far, but they just end up just killing Yone, who went all in on that play. He just had no backup and no damage really to kind of get the final execution on the Real Fox. Decent attempt though. Just again, just too far behind in the game really at this point. Yeah. That is more or less gonna be game one. Should be a close it here. Giving just hitting the turrets. Candy's doing what he's been doing all games, just diving underneath turrets and getting kills. Showing the power of the solo lane Lee Sin. No joke. Oh, going for the Phantom Dive too. Does get the kill. Holy moly. And we got a partial next explosion. Thank you, spectator client. Cool. That is game one. Let's check the old damage graphs. And yeah, pretty much as you'd expect. Lee doing the highest damage by far, followed by Ezreal. And again, like White Fox on the Fiora did play like the lane like decently, but definitely did not get enough support or kind of enough of lead to really generate pressure for our team, and the rest of the map just kind of fell apart, especially the bot lane and mid lane. They were just kind of constantly being shoved underneath their tower and then poked and eventually killed in their turrets a lot of the time. So definitely want to see maybe a bit of a rethink in how they either want to draft or how they want to play with this kind of composition. We'll see what that happens in the second game, but we'll be back to you guys shortly with game two. And I've just realised I've been muted the entire time. I've been talking over the straps. That's nice. Really on the ball today. Alright, well. A few interesting picks coming here. Not sure if that Tam Kench is going top or not. Or if that even is Tam Kench or if it's just a placeholder. Maokai would be, or sorry, Malphite would be a much better pick with Yordo. I'd like to see that being picked up here. Well, we have solo lane Tristana with bot lane Zaya. Let's see, probably the Rakan gets paired up here. He's decently strong right now with just Aurelia's. So Rakan is still a decent bot lane. On the side of Foxys, I'm not too sure where everyone's going. Like, obviously, Nero Fox is the RE1 trick, but is he actually going to play bot lane with Thresh? Looks like that's the case, which is interesting. Don't know if it's wouldn't say it's good, but it's interesting. Curious to see if they can make anything happen in TUD. They had a pretty good game 1 in terms of pressure and bullying Apes. Willy walk. See if they can continue to make that happen with a non-standard bot laner. Meanwhile, Akali versus Trist in the solo lane. Rumble versus Tam Kench in the jungle. That's another cheese McPuff jungle pick I wasn't expecting. And Malphite versus Fiora. So, yeah. Just trying to think how I feel about these comps. So, at the very least, the Rumble has some AoE CC with the Rakan to pair up with the ulti. So, you know, people will actually, you know, stay on this ulti for more than 1 second and, you know, not make it completely worthless. But in terms of like his solo lanes, he's got no setup. Unless again, Fiora parries some CC, but it's not gonna happen, right? So like, at the very least, what I will say is that he should have priority in his 2 solo lanes, because Tristana should have the shove on Akali, Fiora should have the shove on Malphite, and then you can just go invade the enemy jungle if they're thinking about that at all. Try to get a quick prediction of it. Wasn't working for me earlier for some reason, so we'll see if it works now. 2, 2, Foxys versus TUD. Keep that about 10 minutes. What did I think about the prior game? Well, I mean, the prior game is what it was, right? It was like really one-sided. Like, I don't mind if you're gonna try to pick something like Fiora into tanks, but you need to play. I feel like you need to invest in it to make it worthwhile, because he didn't get enough of a lead on his own to like be a pressure point for his team, as I said in the last cast. Predictions are up, by the way, if you guys want to get your bets in. But yeah, I mean, like, there's no ADC here, obviously, for Fox's team, but there's no tank that they kind of have to cut through, so it doesn't really matter. They are going to struggle to take down things like the Baron and towers. They don't really have much siege or objective control in that way. So they kind of need to get big leads, it feels like, to be worthwhile. but they have enough of a front line that it's gonna be. It's not like the 280 carries can cut through a Malphite that quickly. So yeah, I don't really know. I feel like they kind of got better team fight unless Rakan gets the God engage with the perfect like rumble ulti on top. But you don't really want a team fight with a Fiora, so I don't know. Comps are weird. Don't know how I feel. Let's see what the game has in store for us. Right. And we'll get started here. So, could see level 1 invade come out from blue side here with the trash. But it looks like they're just going for a standard 5-man spread.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
And a bit of shit talking here in all chat.
Minions have spawned.
Oh yeah, not much gonna happen here. So again, Tom Kench jungle. Again, I would have thought would have a really slow clear compared to other junglers, like the Maokai in the previous game, but that didn't really end up being a factor at all. So I guess we'll see if that makes any difference here. At least he does have, you know, stuff for ganks if he's going for any in top and bot. Mid lane, not so much. It's going to be hard to lock down Tristana regardless anyway. So I'm curious to see what the thought is behind this pick for jungle. Why would you go for it? Like, what value does it bring? Like, obviously you've got, when you hit level 6, you have the ability to, like, you know, jump in behind the lanes and go for, like, kind of surprise ganks that way, even if you're not, you know, near that part of the map. So it could be used for that. Obviously has defensive options. He has gone for the Ghost Smite with Glacial. So he's just looking to run people down the slows. You know, but trading here in the bot lane, Maria Fox definitely losing out on that. They were not able to get level 2 first, and they get pushed towards the turret. But maybe what needs to be careful almost. Probably should have just gotten Thresh Blade there, to be honest. Occasion maybe a bit of sleep in the wheel? Not too sure. Not in a position to look for it. Oh, does land a hook instead though onto the Rakan. Who should be. Oh, never mind, stays for the extra autos and the ignite. Owens will take them down. First kill to Naria Fox. Candy's meantime taking a bit of damage, but isn't taking any more in the shroud and trades back pretty nicely onto Kimzad, who's going to just have to flash out from the Chiefs McPuff gank. Tom Kent already making his presence felt on the map. Honestly, I don't even know why the Kaysen's playing this scared here. He can just walk up and just zones eye off the wave. Trent with the CC. Nightmare's gonna get caught out here. Is using Flame Spitter, but not doing an awful lot of damage right now, so forced to flash out. One second, guys. I'll deal with the bot. There we go. Alright, back to game. So, level 3 for both sides here. Health still, like, relatively low, but they're not. They're fine. Like, they don't really care. They're just farming. Got the cheeky kill there onto Rakan early on. Now, Opa is going to find Tahm Kench in the river, but they're not going to engage into him because they're ADC back, so they'd be at a numbers disadvantage. Meanwhile, White Fox here in the top lane has a CS lead, but getting poked on quite a bit here by this Comet Malphite. So far hasn't been able to find the 1v1 kill position like he did on a couple times in the last game. Kind of using Prims trading back and forth here. Again, Shroud used to mitigate the bomb so it can't be stacked up. Prims uses the Ignite, but yeah, I mean, you're just taking damage for free in the Shroud and just leaving it yourself up and be killed. So, nice patient play from Candies to get that. Like, if you're solo lane Tristana, like, you don't need to jump in like that against Akali. You can just poke her down from range. Over and over, you know? Build up your lead slowly. But, yeah. Giving the initiative to Candies, and Rakan is going to go down here in the bot side. Might use there by Duncan. Candy's already picked himself up the Seeker's Arm Guard, so already has resistances to deal with the sound damage. In the meantime, he's looking for the kill 1v2, but he's going to get burnt down here by the Rumble. Ends up going just a little bit too far. Nice trade back. Okay, Gank. Come in here from Nightmare. Managed to get a nice kill on Duncan. Or DK's in, sorry to say. Nicely done. So, a bit of gold here early on Rumble. It's always nice. Cheese is in a really poor position here. He does have a bit of backup from his mid laner. I'm guessing Fox looking for the angle, but doesn't have level 6, so doesn't have like all the burst in the world. They're just going to end up securing the river vision, but it's not going to, looks like it's not translating into a dragon for either side just quite yet. Meanwhile, another tank getting bullied here in the top lane. CS gap widened just a little bit, but again, it's not the biggest in the world. And again, if you're 0-2, you shouldn't really care about that anyway. Like, you're mostly just looking to try to survive as much as possible, get enough gold so that you're useful in team fights, which you almost always are as a Malphite. And again, Crim's going pretty aggressive with these trades. Doesn't get enough damage, just all the procs off on the bomb this time, and has a reset jump to get out. Does need to be careful though. Almost got collapsed on there by the Tahm Kench. They did expend ulti to look for that play. Said he's just gonna look to steal away some camps here from Nightmare while he's on. Oh, actually they're going for the wraparound gang with the threat rolling from bot lane, but Tristana does have the jumps. Meanwhile, Candies goes in to look for the finish off kill. Is ignited though, and is going to go down. Rumble flash to try to steal that kill, but Ignite got him instead. And yeah, gold ends up being pretty even across the board. It's kind of the same story as last game, right? Like gold lead for White Fox in the top lane, but conversely, gold lead for Candies on the opposite side in the mid lane. And so far, bot lane's a little more even than on the last one. So we'll see which solo lanes ends up being the bigger influencer on this game. Meanwhile, Ray Fox does use the ulti and charm to get himself away from the all-in. Woodrock used that ulti quite early from the Zaya to like look for just pure damage, which I don't necessarily agree with. But yeah, and again, just both junglers hovering around mid lane here, looking to influence this 1v1 matchup, which has so far been more decidedly going in the Akali's favor, you could say. Has found those outplays a couple times. But yeah, at least bot lane's going a lot better this time here for the side of TUD Apes. Rakan has died a couple of times, but they've managed to trade back effectively enough and managed to get themselves a plate. So they're not all that behind. Candies. Will he go for the second? Nah, he won't. Doesn't want to be risked getting dragged in the middle of two turrets in the mid lane. It's not quite healthy enough to try to look for that outplay. Grims, though, again, I mean, he forces out the Shroud. But, I mean, yeah, now you don't have jumps, so you're just gonna die after that lands. A little bit too aggressive, methinks, from the Tristana. Jeeves is looking just to relieve some pressure here from his top lane. Meanwhile, Nightmare is looking for the kill on the Akali. Did land the Electro Harpoon, does have the overheat, but doesn't land the Flame Spider consistently enough to actually kill her off, and is going to get solo killed. Candy's once again getting fed on a mid lane assassin, this time the Akali instead of the Lee Sin. Oh, nice. Almost Chain C lands in. Woodrock does manage to flash away in time. And 12 minutes of the game. Oh, Charm does land, but yeah, there's no fall CC, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so nearly 13 minutes in, not a single dragon taken yet. Neither side really prioritizing the objectives all too much, but maybe that's because they haven't really had. Neither side hasn't had like the biggest block control in the world. It's been kind of even. Another hook lands there into the charm, and it's going to be the all-in going over to the side of Foxys as Thresh steals that kill away from Azari. Candy's in the meantime looking for the pick here onto the Rumble. He's putting out a lot of damage, but it's taking a lot of in return from the ultimate. Candy Brim's trying to trade back, does get one kill, but will not get a second. And that is 4 for the price of 1 for Foxys as they get themselves the first dragon of the game as well. And that's probably basically all the lead that they need at this point to kind of close out the game, if I'm honest. Because yeah, again, your Fiora is, you know, 40, 50 CS up on a Malphite, but again, is that really going to matter when the rest of the map is starting to fall apart once again? Nuria Fox showing his proficiency on the pick. Gets a nice trade-off, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced by the bot lane Ahri. I mean, it's working for him. He hasn't died yet. Wait, is that a Gale Force he's gotten? Hang on a second here. Okay, I completely missed the fact that Maria Fox actually went PTA. So it's not a AP RE, it's an AD RE. And a crit one at that, from what it looks like. But surely most of your damage is coming from your abilities anyway. I don't know. That's a weird one. I mean, they're landing the chain CC onto Isaiah, and they're getting kills. So, can't judge it too harshly. Oh, Charm does land. Gonna see the flay come out. You land kill. Should be a hook up. They are gonna land it, but there's no Charm. Oh, Charm's up now, and they are gonna get the follow up kill. Alright, I mean, it's working for them. You know, Crim's continuing to get focused on here in the mid lane. Another kill for Candies. And he's going to continue to dominate the center of this map. Still no towers down for either side, but we should see mid lane go down fairly soon, I'd imagine. Bot lane might take a little while longer. I don't think Ahri takes turrets all that quickly. And meanwhile, Herald used up in top lane to get some damage down. Again, actually, yeah, 0-2 might just get this, to be honest. They can't really stop him. So, yeah. Pressure in all 3 lanes for Foxys. Nearly a 4k lead in 16 minutes. Looking like almost like a repeat here of game 1. See if TUD Apes have any. They can come up with any adaptation here to try turn this one around. Crims, though, probably not long for this world, has a Malphite right on top of him. Is opting to jump over the wall instead of clicking the lantern. That leads to his jungler getting killed as well. Rakan will be under turret trying to turn this around, but does not get enough CC off. Does get the 1v1 kill for his ADC, but again, it's another 1 for 4. So this is not the sort of deal you want to be making if you're TUD Apes. Meanwhile, White Fox is just going to farm in top lane, maybe get himself a turret in return. But having even less impact on this Fiora pick than he did in the last game. So, hasn't felt worthwhile, to be honest. I'm wondering if... I'm curious to know what else his champion pool might could have held to maybe offer them some different options. The big question is, what does the Ahri build next? So he's already got Gale Force. He's got that longsword in his pocket. He's placing now. Is he going to go into like... Right, so he's got the hammer and the pickaxe. That could be a number of things out. So I was going to say, maybe you could go for like something like a collector, because that'll work with your abilities and your autos. But it's not really... I mean, it could be valuable for Ahri, but it's not really, I guess. Well, if you're doing that, you'd probably have gone for the dagger. Sorry, the dirk, I should say. You know, Ray Fox is going to pick up another couple kills here. Onto Charm, onto CC. And the follow-up damage. Gets himself another double kill here in the bot lane. 0-2. Seen this a lot last game, getting run down here by a Fiora, but buys enough time with the flash. Meanwhile, Cheese McCullough is going to pop everything to chase down the Fiora and is going to get a kill, but it is traded back here by Nightmare. We'll see now, does he have the damage to kill this Tam Kench, who is quite tanky. And he doesn't have, still on cooldown, so it doesn't have the abilities back up yet. The overheat auto's not doing enough. Dragon number 2 being secured by Foxys in the meantime. Yep. And another solo kill with a small bit of help there from the trash for Candies in the mid lane. So, yeah. I guess another Chiefs McPuff pick shown me up here. But again, realistically speaking, I don't think the time counters really had like that much influence on the map. Kind of feels like his lanes have just been winning and he's been able to show up at the right times to pick up a couple of kills, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced by Town Kench or Maokai jungle. I'd have to kind of see it work in maybe against some other teams. See if they have more value. I was working for him here as the chem tank to help him chase down his targets, and Terrell is used immediately. He want nothing to do with the Tom Kent, but in the meantime, Crims once again getting absolutely pulled here in mid lane. Rocket jump, flash, safety, doesn't matter. Malphite ult. Will always find you. Bot lane getting ganked. Feathers are down for Zaya, but she's just going to get run down. Doesn't have a chance to withdraw them. Jason lands a hook and is trying to get the kill onto the Rumble here. Steals it away from Maria Fox. And yeah, just managing to juggle the Terra aggro pretty nice there. Managing to get himself a few more kills. Well, Fiora does get to tier 2 in top lane, so she's trying to put pressure on the map. But it's just going to be a tier 2 trade in the bot lane as well as all those kills. So yeah, gold still accelerating very much in the favor of Foxys here. And 2 dragons up as well. I'll be surprised if it requires the soul point to even secure this win, to be honest. Crims is once again going to go down. Has not had the best couple of games. Definitely getting bullied by the side of Foxys. The case is having a good series. Has really not missed all that many bindings or hooks from when he was playing Morgana in the first game and now trashing this one. Pretty impressed what I'm seeing from him. Maria Fox looks for the charm. Gets him chunked out. Gets eaten in time so it does not get burnt alive by the Rumble. But it will cause his jungler to die, however. Candy's looking for the trade kills in return though. Has taken a bunch of damage. He's gone back in though. With Malphite ulti has dove once again. Zonya's the last tower shot. Flash over the wall to avoid the Tristana, and he's going to get killed. Go over once again with the Shuriken, but it's going to get killed by the Fiora mob, who gets herself a couple of kills. And suddenly the Fiora, who was 0-0-0 for pretty much like 90% of this game, is now 3-1-2. So has some gold in her pockets. So yeah, I mean the gold's shrunk down to like, you know, just a 7k gold lead. You know, it's not that much. White Fox, I mean, okay, I guess Superior Fox just wins. What can you say? Maria Fox, you know, losing on his signature champion too, you know. So like, what else can you say? Potentially means that the soul point could be delayed here by TUD Apes. They have the numbers right now, but it's going to change very quickly because again the gold is still very much in the favor of Foxys, and your Tristana's half health for some reason. Maybe it looks like maybe Candy's got some damage off. Will be walking in a real position here. It's gonna have to flash for that to get over the wall. And yeah, now Malphite's there, they can't really enter the river. They're just gonna get cast on, engage, and they're just gonna die. Although nice rumble ulti to dissuade, split up the team here. But yeah, they just have to back off, and they're just gonna get the dragon anyway. So. Meanwhile, White Fox and the Fiora is just trying to push top lane as much as possible, try to get something up, maybe open up the base if they can kind of delay this chase down. Cause a bit of a skirmish here. I mean, that's what it looks like happening. Shutdown gifted over by Naria Fox. And then inhibitor shirt. Oh, okay. So Naria Fox, he went for the Navari Quick Blades and the Rapid Fire Cannon. Right. Your critical strikes with attacks reduce your non-ultimate ability cooldowns. I mean, I guess that's good for Ari? Does she need that though? I don't know. This is some cracked shit, to be honest, that Naria Fox is doing. I'm curious to see how much damage she's done by the end of this game. Because the auto attacks don't seem to be doing that much, but his abilities still are. This is kind of weird. It's still been useful on the pick though. He's definitely made a lot of nice CC chains with his support to make plays in the bot lane. Charm just short there, but they will catch the rumble. No one's here to help him whatsoever. Just abandoned him. They've got pretty much complete control of the river around the Baron. Looks like they're just going to push in for the tier 2 while they have a numbers advantage rather than go for the Baron, I guess. Candy, look for a solo kill again. Didn't get it on the second ulti proc. But, and yeah, it's actually just gonna. Oh no, why would you rump in? Oh, every Tristana Irish player, they always jump in. Doesn't matter what lane they're in. Oh well, okay. 2 inhibitors down. 2 more kills in a pocket trade for the jungler. Oh sorry, bot inhibitor isn't now, so it's just a mid, but there's no turret there. The Baron's still pretty much free. Once she is back up to, again, the gold is just so ridiculously in Fox's favor, they can kind of just do whatever they want. Unless you get, again, you need like the godlike Rakan ulti on top of a Rumble ult. Just to be able to like stand a chance in these fights, but yeah, I mean it's not really going to matter when the Malphite just ultis half your team and they just die off of like one engage. Speaking of, White Fox having to run away, but no chase down going to come through there. They're just going to get some vision down, secure themselves control in behind the Drake, the Baron pit. No, Crimson's pushing bot lane. And Real Fox is pushing bot lane, but he has no TP. Why? Why don't you just send your Akali down there? I mean, I guess the dragon's coming up and that's why. So they don't necessarily care about going for this Baron right away. They can just get themselves the Ocean Soul. Which is fine. Candies. Maybe gets picked off here. Oh. Fresh MVP gets the Lantern out. Definitely don't want to be giving more gold to the Fiora. And yeah, this is interesting. Candies does have TP if they want to fight for the soul here. Again, because of the waves though, they just can't actually contest. They have to get the priority. And they're just going to lose the Ocean Soul, which makes fighting this team even harder than it already was. Oh, Cheese McPuff going for the solo flank here. Has the slows off with the Tongue Lash, and yeah, that's a dead Xayah. Perhaps they're just looking for the end here. They have super minions. Maybe a bit greedy when you can just go for Baron. Candies is looking for the outplay here, trying to make a pick. Looking for the Tristana, who is very much out of position. Gets executed by Naria's Fox with the Gale Force auto. And yeah, they're just waiting for super waves to come in. And they looks like they're going to go for the end. 0-2, going to cancel the back from Fiora, but it's going to actually just trade his life, honestly. Yeah, he should go down, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh no, he got out! Okay. Yeah, I mean, useful Fiora pick, I guess. And right now, just racking up the stats as they will get themselves, well, it was a relatively clean 2-0 series. We kind of had consistent leads throughout both games. As the Nexus does eventually go down. And do we get the full explosion? Hey, we got to whoop this one, boys. Alright. So, some weird drafts. From both sides, both games. Especially in jungle, especially from Cheese McPuff. Maokai first game, Tom Kemp second game. Still don't know how I feel about them, but like he did enough because of what way the champions are, like to influence the game. But again, a lot of it felt kind of already decided just by the lane phases. Candies especially kind of put on a monster performance both games. Lee Sin first game, Kali second game, kind of massive mid gap. And kind of used that to kind of just influence the jungle 2v2 and the bot lane as well quite a bit. Even top lane when, you know, Fiora was more of a threat in that game, like he kind of just went up there and shut him down. So yeah, well played by Candies, well played by Foxys. I'd say I'd probably give Candies my MVP. I think that's a pretty easy one to give for the series. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to check now. I do believe the other Div 2 game of this very group is getting streamed right now. Let me just finish the prediction there. So we'll send you over to them. Give me 1 second there. There he is. Grand. Cool. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time, and hopefully we'll have a more professional cast setup kind of going on. Today was just a bit more casual, but cheers for watching with me anyway, and I'll talk to you guys next time.